Man, oh man. It is time to go over Ruby, man. I don't know. I wonder what it's like when I finally get this character fully awakened.
I was just getting warmed up. Now take this!
What's going on, guys? It is time to talk about the great gritty girl fighter Ruby. I have not done a guide on this character, so today we are going to do a guide, and you know we gotta amazing. Of course, I'm going to have this part of the Knights Chronicle Content Creator program because I think guides are pretty much a good mainstay for that. Wouldn't you agree? I know you sure do. So, of course, we're going to go over what they do, their skills, what kind of rune set you're going to want, and then break it down what kind of rune set you're going to want once you fully awaken them, because I do feel like the awakened characters, sometimes they change up a little bit when we get to that point. So that is what's going to be the loveliness that we're going to discuss today. So let's first go over the skills. Boom. S1 is going to be the speed kick, and as you can see here, the higher you go in the levels, the lower you have a chance to reduce the S2 cooldown. It's this whole like thing you got to remember. Now as far as actually leveling this one up first, I would say not really. I don't know. We'll look at the other ones, but I really don't think that the S1 is what you want to level up first. Now we're going to the S2, the spin kick. Inflicts damage equal to 200% of attack to one target. 65% chance to decrease the skill of skill 3, decrease the cooldown of skill 3 by one turn. Now when you actually max this one out, it becomes 100%. So every time you use this skill, it will happen. Now the S1, as you will know, triggers this and then lowers that and triggers that. So as we know, let's just talk about the S3, because you're going to want to throw this out as soon as possible, because the other cooldowns of your other moves are for the purpose of lowering and getting this back up. So this is the single target nuke. Inflicts additional damage equal to 70% of the attack that ignores defense if the target does not have a buff. This is also accompanied by her lovely passives. But yeah, so pretty much you're going to S3, then S2, and then S1, so you can S2 again, and then S3. That's it. She's a psycho character. You know, you do this, and this, and in that specific order. It's pretty much like a SpongeBob episode.
I can't put a patty on a bun with lettuce, cheese, onions, tomatoes, ketchup, mustard, pickles, and top bun together in that order.
So what's cool about this one is that, of course, it just gets stronger. Same thing with this one, it just gets stronger. I still would recommend the S3 and then max out the S2, then go back for the S1, but maybe I'll change my mind. But let's look at the passive. See, well, we can also look at the leader skill. If you're going with a full win squad, you can get a little bonus attack of 60%. I only recommend this on dungeons like the tile dungeon, where it's like, oh, we're just gonna mollywop this dude. Otherwise, I do feel like there are probably a little bit better ones with either multi-attack counter or like HP or recovery, depending on the dungeon. Her thing is, because remember, one specific thing I feel like a lot of people leave this out is that when the leader dies, the passive is gone. So I'm not a fan of having the leader passive on someone that is squishy, someone that is very easy to die. So that's just my opinion. You should keep that in mind when you have a squishier or squishiest character as the leader. Anyway, let's go to the passive. It's on 80% chance to remove all buffs from defense and attack type enemies at the start of the turn. I still don't know why they say at the start of the turn. It should just mean at the start of their turn or the caster's turn. I always found that weird, because the start of the turn is everyone. All right, the second passive, which I like to call the investment passive, because this is when you reach level 60. Then you can unlock this, and this is 50% chance to decrease all skill cooldowns by 1 when attacked. So every 50%, she has a chance to lower the S3 and the S2 down, which is obviously amazing. But restores HP by 20% when cooldown decrease is activated. That doesn't matter how it's activated, as long as if it's activated by the 1 or the 2, or if she gets activated by this, she will heal. And then of course it removes 1 debuff from the caster. That is a new thing, well, newer to her. to be able to actually, she has self-cleansing, which is amazing. So even if all your cooldowns are up and you get hit, you might just cleanse a buff. Beautiful. And then we're gonna go down to the Croup de Grey, or I don't know, I hope I didn't curse in like a different language, but you know what is this, like the grand finale, but it's like said somewhere in a different language. It makes it sound much more cooler. Is bam, swift attack, 30% chance to make the caster's turn come next when attacking. So keep that in mind. That's when attacking. Now when that says when attacking, that means that is off of her multi-striking, that is off of her counter attacking. When she gets to this level, now her build should change, and she is one of them, just like Ashley. I think Ashley, once you get him to that level, you kind of want to change up his build just a little bit. Maybe that rage, you know, doesn't become as important for Ashley as far as actually multi-striking and counter attacking once he has his tier 6 of Hero Awakening passive. So yes, and also she has a 100% chance to increase caster's attack by 50% for 5 turns. Stacks up to 2 times. Ridiculous. That is so a lot of damage. Yes. It is a lot of damage that she gets, and like as you see, it stacks up to 2 times, and it's kind of crazy because if you think about it, it's just like she just gets a huge damage boost because she doesn't really have any other damage boosting things in her kit, but now she does, and it will obviously make her S3 a little bit more potent because she's taking additional turns, and she'll get this stacked up to 100% attack boost on a ignore defense nuke. Yeah, and while she's getting these extra turns, she's removing buffs from attack and defense types. That's why, in my opinion, once you do get this passive, counter should be a little bit more important to your build. But I'm not done. Increases multi-strike chance by 40% if skill 3 is in cooldown. So pretty much you have to have this off cooldown, is what it's supposed to say, is have it off cooldown. Then and only then will she have increased multi-strike by 40%. But you're pretty much leading off with your S3 anyway. That's just how she's meant to do. You lead off with the S3. Funny enough, also this giving her extra turn is cycling her cooldowns. So she is going to be an S3 S2ing machine. It's going to be nuts when you see this chick fighting. But the only thing is that she, as you guys can see, there's nothing here that is giving her any type of defensive mechanisms. There's nothing here that's gonna help her survive except the fact that she is healing a lot when her cooldowns get cycled down, but that's really it. Alright guys, here we are at her base stats. This is Ruby's base stats, and the only way I can actually show her base stats is actually by having the unit. So it is still going to be a little bit hard to see because of the fact that you see all these added additions and pluses. But I will say one thing, every single SSR attack unit has the same attack. Every attacker has the same HP, so the same defense. The only difference is the speed. Just wanted to clarify that. I definitely checked a couple units. It is the same. So the only difference of what a character usually have that is different, especially amongst the attackers, is the speed. And she has one of the higher speeds. And then after that, it's kit. So just keep that in mind, guys. I don't know if you guys knew that. I know there are still people to this day that are just starting to play this game. So when you are looking at a character, it's all about the kit. All about the kit. So the attack for every SSR attacker is 3818. Her speed is 599. That just sounds like the perfect price for like an overpriced cookie, which wouldn't make it the perfect price, but you know what I'm saying. 599 is very, very high speed. That is right in there at 600. And I can be honest, the closer you can get to 700-esque speed, that is pretty much what you're looking for when it comes down to increasing your speed to make sure she goes first. So yeah, let's go talk about runes. First rune set that we have to put in there, the Rune of the Unity is a pretty good rune set. I have actually used it on Junia before, just for like the fun of it, just for the fact that it exists in the game, and you have to acknowledge it, that if you are doing dungeons and you know you're running a mono team, actually mono as in singular element team, then having Unity even on all those characters actually would be nuts. It's just a crazy insane boosted damage, and Ruby's also passive with stack on top of it, so of course you can do that. And again, if you do this, then you actually give yourself a little bit more leeway to actually get more tankier HP increases on the slot, you know, on these slots, because these are the slots that have HP increase. You can kind of go there without having to go like crit chance or something like that, because you're going to get the free damage from the Unity set. And yes, the Unity set does give more than a rage. I'm just going to put that out there. The Rune of Multi-Strike Boost. Now, as you did see that with her new passive, once it gets unlocked, she does get the 40% chance to multi-strike. Now 40% is still not 50, and it's not the max. We all know the max is about 75 if I'm not mistaken, and you probably want to still get up there if you're trying to incorporate a character that is multi-striking. If you're going to rely on the multi-strike passive to kind of have that as something that she also does, then you can go this 2 set. It's not that bad. Like I said, it's just a 2 set, so you don't have to invest too much into it, and since she does have something that allows her to multi-strike, then you should be pretty much in the ballpark. I do think that it's okay, not the best thing you can put on her, but it is okay. Resolve I think is pretty good, just for the fact that, you know, she is healing, she is removing stuff. If she gets an extra turn, she will remove buffs, so it's not that bad of a tech in my opinion when it comes down to actually just having another way for her to stay alive a little bit longer, get that turn, start healing up, and getting back into the fight. The time. I actually have messed around with this. This is actually cool. I use it on mono, on my mono, just because she has a lot of ignore defense attacks, and every time she gets a kill, her cooldowns are right back up. But this would obviously screw you over with the multi-strike passive. That's obvious. And this is also, let me also say this is really only good in dungeons where things spawn a lot. But I would only recommend this if your substat are beautiful, gorgeous. The only time you would want to run that on any character. Rune of Agility. As we have to go here, we gotta talk about the beautifulness that is the Rune of Agility. Attack speed, her going first, stripping Verdandi. Oh, I know some people are Verdandi not having that strike preparation buff. Beautiful. Yes, that is exactly what you want to do, and she is phenomenally fast. As we saw, she is one of the faster characters in the game. Unfortunately, in this game, I don't know, attack speed doesn't seem to matter. Everyone gets their respective turn, so it just seems like attack speed is just about going first and making your turn order who goes first. I haven't seen any aspect of any character actually lapping without weird passives or abilities that give them extra turns like Ruby's passive. So if you are having trouble in arena and it's because you're not going first and you want to take people's buffs away, then this is where you want to be at. Get a nice little agility set, make sure and heighten the chance for you to get that first turn. And remember, you can check in arena who's going first. You can look at all their characters, look at their speed, and realize, oh, okay, my Ruby's going first, and then fight them if you want. The Rune of Destruction. Not recommending it, but I'm going to tell you why I don't recommend it, because I haven't done this kind of breakdown like I've done before. The reason why I only recommend Rune of Destruction on characters that have built-in crit mechanics, and she does not have any, so that is why I would not recommend it. So don't do this unless you have a character with a built-in crit mechanic. Rage, I shouldn't even have to explain it. She's an attacker, and this increases your attack. If you got good rage runes, you put them on. Interesting enough, I do like counter, and especially like I said, when she has her Hero Awakening passive, I do think that counter is really good because it allows you to have an extra chance to attack to get that extra turn. Unlike Tarkus, that can only get extra turns, you know, once every turn, Ruby technically can just keep getting turns as long as she is attacking, and she can steal turns when it's not her turn and then get a turn because she attacked. So I would actually say counter is probably one of the main 2 sets that you want once she actually gets fully awakened, just for the extra chance of, you know, BS. And do you want to go 3 counters? Only doing that again if your substats are phenomenal. But I think at least as the off 2 set, I think Revenge should be where you want to go. Same thing here with about the life and the assault. I just have them here. Is that pretty much it's the 2 set. If the subs are really good, I only recommend like a super HP focus Ruby if you want her to sit there and stall all day, but that's just not her job. She is meant to do damage. She is there to be annoying. Yes, you can give her some more HP, but I don't think it's worth the 2 set. Just get some more HP, increase substats. Only time I ever run protection on a unit is if the substats are good and I don't have any other option. So yeah, that's about what I would say for the runes. Next up, what I want to talk about is going to be the talents of the heroes. And of course, you guys know attacker for the attack is best thing that you're going to do for level 50. 52, you're going to go into what you want to use her for. You're going to be in the arena or you're going to be in the bosses, obviously. This one, though she does have cooldown cycling, and then yes, you can put a bleed on there, but this is much better. And most of the time it's going to be arena because that's where she shines. But she is really relevant, obviously, in the Nina dungeon, and she's relevant in the other 2 water admin dungeons. So not like this is something to sleep on. It depends on where you are in the game and what you need to do. So, but always keep in mind that arena is for the entirety of everything in the fight, and boss is only when you deal something that says boss. So it doesn't work on everything that's in the dungeon, but this works on everything in arena. So that's why most people just kind of go for this, so they don't have to come back when they want to use the character for arena, because this is only situational. This is kind of always good in the arena. So just a heads up. Same thing with here. We're going with the defense, just nice, good stats. S1, she will S1 a lot, so you could technically go with this. I always say multi-attacker, counter-attackers. You want to go with burn because it's just additional damage. Why not? And a lot of other characters synergize off of it, so why not? But I think here you want to go with the defense. Like, as I said, she's so much better alive than she is trying to nuke someone and die. You know, yeah, that's just my opinion. Next up, we're gonna go with 56, and it's gonna be same thing. Where you're using her in arena or to bosses. I have mine on bosses, and if you looked at the ridiculous amount of HP I have on my Ruby, is because I was trying to prove a point. I wanted to see if she could survive solo in Lily's dungeon, and that's what I had this. But I would actually have it on arena. But you can also do this if you think that she'll survive long enough to benefit from it, taking a damage, surviving, and then getting 30%. But if you guys know right now, the meta in arena is that not many things survive, so take that as you will. I think it's better to go with this. So sometimes if they geared maybe too much speed and didn't have enough attack, you'll more than likely survive the attack than giving them that extra bit of non-defense and then dying, and then this never procs at all. So yeah, up to you. Last but not least, I always say crit chance if they don't have anything that gives them crit chance, or automatic crits, crit damage if they do, penetration if you are a meta predicting god. And what I mean by that, obviously, is if you think that they're going to be using a lot of damage, immunities, shields, which, as you know, people are definitely. I've seen some maxed awakened Damians already. They are out there in arena. They are out there. So it's going to be a nightmare. But then again, she'll strip those people anyway, so she doesn't really need to deal with this too much, because if they're an attacker or a defender, she will strip their shields anyway. This is probably for her only if there is a hybrid that she needs to take the shield off of, and that just doesn't seem as likely. So I think I would have to go back and just say this crit chance is probably your best option. Oh, you know I like that base riff. You guys know what time it is. Time to end the video, and it is time to go to 1-1 and end this video, showcase the skills in case you guys never had Ruby or never seen Ruby. And yeah, we're gonna enjoy this and have some fun and just listen to those funky beats, baby. All right, so let's look at this S1. I love it, and her S2 animation is different once you awaken her. Nice little quick flip kick, I love it. As you can see, the cooldowns acting, the counter attacking, and removing the buff because he's an attack unit. Lastly, I'm just gonna leave you guys off with the S2, and I will see you guys in the next video, which is obviously gonna be S-na to the E to the S to the N to the A. But right now we're here with Ruby, and that's all I gotta say. A, and you just unsubscribe. But please come back. Come back. Look at this animation. Look at this animation. I'm cool. Is it just me, or are you just slightly upset that she actually missed the target?